Is there anything you want to tell about your personal story living in Syria?
يعني أول شي صار عنا حرب كتير قوي ضارب وضلينا شي 11 شهر ما شفنا الكهرباء ولا الغاز ولا الخبز.
We first had the war and bombardments, and when the problem started, for a month we couldn't see bread and gas and these necessities.
رجعنا صرنا يعني تضرب يجوا هدول المسلحين يعدوا من الطريق. نحن عنا يعني طريق الشام وحلب وكله هذا استراد. بيجوا يضربوا بعدها تجي الطيارة بتضرب ونصير نهرب نحن على الضيعة الثانية. تشتتنا كتير شي سنة ونص تقريبا.
Then you can say whenever the fighters come across, because we were living on close to on the highway from Damascus and Aleppo, so the fighters would come across and shoot, and then the army also will come back. And we will run away from where we live to other villages. So you can say we got scattered all over.
Okay.
لا في أكل لا
No
في
food,
بيت
no house.
ولا يعني عيشة صعبة خوف رعب من كله. بعدين أنا صرت أقول لجوزي خلص إنه سوريا ما ضلنا عايشة فيها هلا. بدنا نروح أولادنا حرام يعني نروح نهرب فيهم. وظبطنا أوراق وجينا على لبنان.
So then there was no proper life. We were always scared and worried, especially about our kids. So I told my husband, let's move out.
In 2017, my basement apartment flooded, and I stayed at a hotel in Mississauga called the Comfort Inn. It was there that I first met a child Syrian refugee. He was sitting in the lobby on one of the couches, and when I walked in, he repeatedly said the word hi. I asked an employee at the front desk if he was okay. The employee said yes, he is a Syrian refugee and he is just excited to see people come and go. I thought to myself it must be the only word of English he knew. He was such a cheerful little boy, and I have thought about him ever since. It made me wonder, how are Syrian refugees adjusting to life in the GTA in 2019? A Syrian refugee family of 9, 2 parents and 7 children, arrived at the Comfort Inn in late January in 2019. And how do you like Canada so far?
الحمد لله الوضع جيد، وطالما انه اهم شيء احنا جايين قصدنا انه نعلم الاولاد، يعني اهم شيء اول شغله هدفنا الاساسي جايين هنا انه نعلم اولادنا ان شاء الله، وان شاء الله انه نشوفهم اخيو
الأمور إن شاء الله
الامور احسن. الحمد لله امور زينه بينا.
He's saying everything so far looks nice. They're happy to be here, to be safe. Their main objective of being here is, of course, to help raise their children, provide them with a good education, just grow up in a safe environment.
Okay, how many children do you have?
7.
7, wow. Are they all here?
إيه الحمد لله.
That's great. How do they like the snow? Have they played in the snow yet?
إيه الأولاد أول مرة إيه.
انبسطوا بيه؟
إيه الحمد
لعبوا
لله.
طلعوا برا؟
لا نخاف عليهم من البرد حاليا.
It's the first time they see the snow, but they didn't go out to play with it because they're afraid of the cold so far, but they're happy to see it. It's nice to see. Yeah.
نحن الامم تتصل فينا، يعني هناك بلبنان ما في انه حدا يروح بيقدم تقديم. عن طريق المفوضيه هي بتتصل فيك تقول لك بتحب تسافر، نقول لها مثلا اوكي يس، تقول يعني مثلا كندا طالبه لاجئين، بتحب تسافر على كندا، نقول لها هي بتعملنا أول مقابلة ثاني مقابلة.
هذا الكلام أنتم بسوريا ولا بس رحتوا لبنان؟
لا بلبنان. سوريا لا. صارنا بلبنان 5 سنوات نحن.
Okay. Yeah, so they're saying, for example, if they move to Lebanon on their own from Syria, and then during that period they're registered refugees under the UNHCR, and what happens is like they don't really go apply to travel abroad, for example. It's more so a system set in place for the UNHCR where they call them, for example, they'd say, you know, like Canada is accepting refugees to come to Canada. And then they'd ask them if they're interested in like being part of that program and traveling and so forth. So for example, like if they stayed in Lebanon for 5 years, during that period, like they gave them a call and they saw that it was a perfect opportunity for them, and they went for it and took it.
So do you know anyone else here? Like any other family that is here yet already?
معارف
في ما أعرف
أصدقاء.
أصدقاء.
No, من وين تعرفوهم قبل ولا كيف؟
والله كمعرفة كلها كنا بلبنان. تعرفنا عليهم بلبنان وجوا لهون.
Yeah, they've got not relatives but just acquaintances they met in Lebanon before they came here. So they moved from Syria to Lebanon to here, and then during that time period in Lebanon, you get to meet the people that are also destined to the same location. So that's how they know some people in different like locations around the area.
So far, are you comfortable in Canada?
لا ما في الحمد لله خوف.
لا الحمد لله مرتاحين.
مرتاحين.
وجودكم وجود الطيبين. الحمد لله.
They're saying with the help being provided, they're comfortable and happy so far. It's also, they've only been here for a few days, so surprises are yet to come.
احنا يعني حاطين ببالنا انه نتعذب لنا 2-3 بس ان شاء الله يكون الوضع كويس.
They have it in their head that, you know, it's going to be a difficult beginning for the first few months at least, but they're willing to make that sacrifice and like are looking forward to it and know that in the long term, the future, it will be better.
Is there anything that other people of Canada can do to help you make that time easier?
اكيد لو هن نحن كيف بدنا هي انه بكون حريه لهم هن اذا بدهم يساعدونا ولا لا صح ولا
طبعا هو الدعم المعنوي أهم شيء. أول شيء
الدعم المعنوي صح.
They're saying like the settlement organizations are doing a good job. They said like mental support is always appreciated, and just having like a community that's, you know, there and supporting is more than enough.
I spoke with Ahmed Nosman, an employee at a non-profit organization called Polycultural, which has resettlement programs in the GTA helping refugees in their first week in Canada. The organization is working with the Comfort Inn.
When it's a smooth sail, again, it's always the language. Language is just a primary concern for all the families, but again, every family has their own circumstances. So when like a family comes with medical needs, then that's like another barrier or challenge that they have to face, right? When a large family comes with a lower income, it's kind of hard to find housing, not just because of their low income, but because, you know, landlords, for example, they're not very accepting to a large amount of people in the house. Besides the fact that they are newcomers and like they face that challenge. So some of the challenges that they face, they don't really know that they face because we kind of go through them instead, right? So when we're trying to help them find housing, not everyone's very accepting to newcomers because of like their credit process and employment and all that, which is understandable. So that's like some of the challenges that they face without noticing it, and then other challenges they face based on like the family circumstances in particular.
The Comfort Inn is still taking Syrian refugees, and the manager says it has been a memorable experience for him.
There was this one family that I can tell you about that like blew us mind. Like they were so happy being in Canada. They had 6 kids, and one of them was handicapped, and the parents were so happy that they wouldn't let our employees go into their rooms to clean up. They forced all their kids and themselves to clean the rooms.
Wow.
They would take it upon themselves to clean our hallway. Okay. They would even on their own come outside and start brooming the front of the hotel and start we sometimes power wash the front and all that.
Yeah.
Water the plants and all that. And they would take over that responsibility. So when you see in a family like that, goes to show you what Canada is doing for them.
A couple of weeks later, the family was relocated to their new permanent home in London, Ontario. So how is your life so far since we met in Mississauga the last couple times? How do you like your new home?
الحمد لله هون الوضع الحمد لله كويس منيح الحمد لله.
Yeah, thank God. Things here is good, and we like it. Yeah.
And how was the process of getting to this home? Was it long? Was it hard? Like, did you see multiple homes before you found this home, or was it straight to here?
لا نحن على أساس ميساقا وشفنا بيوت ميساقا بس الأجور هناك ميساقا غالية. أجار البيت 3000 دولار بالشهر ونحن قلنا ما لنا استطاعنا نوصل. في إلي صاحب هون بلندن اتصلت فيه قلت له بدي بيت هيك الوضع قال لي أوكي بيوم واحد أمن لي البيت الحمد لله تيسرت.
We looked for houses there in Mississauga first, and we saw several houses. The rents were too high, reached for us. A family of our family size is like $3,000 a month, and we can't afford that. Then we have a friend here in London. We asked him to help, and in one day he could arrange this house.
Do you mind if I ask if you two are working right now? Did you find jobs as well?
لا شغل ما في بندرس يعني لسه.
لغة نحن بدنا لغة.
We need language. We didn't work yet, but we need to improve our language.
نحن ما لنا يعني أول سنة ما لنا مفكرين بالعمل، أهم شيء نتعلم لغة.
We first year we're not thinking about working first year. We're focusing on language, improving our language.
That's great. Are there any services around here that can help with language?
إيه في. هلا نحن ناطرين عملوا لنا تقييم للغة.
عملوا لنا تقييم وإن شاء الله قالوا لنا حطوا لنا راحة الانتظار. إمتى يصير فضل ينزلونا على المدرسة.
Yeah, there is. We went through the assessment, and they put us on a waiting list. Whenever there is an empty spot for us in school, we will join the school.
Oh, great. Does that mean your children are in school, or are they gonna wait to learn the language as well to join the school?
من أول أسبوع دخلوا المدارس.
Children joined school from the first day.
Oh, really?
From first week.
Great. That's amazing. And how are they liking it? Are they making friends?
كتير أصلاً.
Yeah, a lot of friends.
So would you say that language is the #1 barrier that is number one barrier of moving to Canada?
طبعا أكيد.
Of course.
عشان إذا واحد يندمج بالمجتمع بده أكيد لغة.
To be able to integrate in the community here, we need the language.
Okay. After a while of talking, the children joined the conversation, where I asked about their schooling in Canada. And what grade are the rest of you in?
سادس ورابع.
11.
4.
10.
Okay.
10.
10.
2.
4.
6.
4.
4. 6. 0. 0 1.
So you're in grade 11. You're going to be graduating next year. Are you excited to graduate?
ومد خارج المدرسة ما بعرف شيء لسه.
How to graduate from school, and I don't know anything yet.
You'll get there. Don't worry.
راح توصل لهناك ما تخاف.
إن شاء الله الله يكرمك.
Is there an English teacher that's helping you guys out in your schools?
Yeah.
So you have an interpreter sitting with you, I imagine, while you're in class?
في هلا العرب في بصف بيعرفوا لما بده شيء الأستاذ هن بترجموا سألوا شو بدك ترجموا.
There are Arab students in the class. They already know English, so when the teacher wants me to do anything, they translate to me.
Oh, that's great. So it's just other students that are helping you out. That's amazing. That's really nice.
كتير منيح كتير رائع.
So are your schools close by? Like, are the children able to walk to school?
الصغار مشي بس الكبار بمدرسة بيت.
The younger ones, yeah, they walk to school, but the bigger kids, they go to beach with us.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's great. Thank you so much for the fruit. It's very good.
شكرا كثير على الفواكه.
So are you kids excited that it's getting warmer out? Because I know when you first got here it was really cold.
طبعا أكيد.
Of course, yes.
يعني الناس اللي هون بتحكي إنه كندا كتير حلوة بالصيف. وفي يعني إنه طلعات وفوتات وحدائق وهيك.
Yeah, people here tell us that Canada is very nice at summer, and we can go out and have picnics and things like that. Yeah.
While the children are not in school, they enjoy playing soccer on a field right behind their new home. The family says the settlement organization has been very helpful to them and they're happy together in Canada.